How's it going, guys and goddesses? This is Diakara. Back at you, guys and goddesses. Now I'm watching this Diddy trial. And yeah, man, Diddy done pissed some people off, man, because they targeting this dude. And they're using one of their little sex slaves, Cassie, to try to do Diddy in. You know, there's a whole network of these sorcerers, is what I call them. You know, they practice that sadomasochism, and they're trying to sandbag Diddy or railroad Diddy, and people like Clive Davis and people like that who are demons, demon possessed sorcerers, initiating all these freak offs, which is nothing but an orgy, eyes wide shut type orgies that everybody in Hollywood, everybody in politics, people who are at the upper echelon of society, they all participate in these demonic rituals, satanic rituals. And I kind of find it funny, man, that they're trying to railroad Diddy. I guess Diddy got too high on his horse and turned against the wrong people. So now they're all, you know, cursing in on Diddy. But Cassie, listen to her testimony. It's clear. She's a masochist, people. And Diddy is a sadist. And their relationship is based on sadomasochism. And all this crap about Cassie being a victim, that's a bunch of bullshit. Cassie is a masochist. And the whole relationship between a sadist and a masochist is a sadist initiates pain for his sexual pleasure, and a masochist receives pain for their sexual pleasure, which is why Cassie's a masochist. And every time Diddy beat the hell out of her or whatever the hell, she got an orgasm out of that shit. That's why she keeps coming back to him. And it's very clear when you listen to the cross-examination of the defense on Cassie. You know, she sits there and she done calculated, schemed. You know, the way I look at it is when you have a sadist, a person with a sadist personality and a person with a masochist personality, they're two birds of the same feather. You know, they can't do without each other. And this is definitely two people who allowed a demon to come into them, and which is why you see their bizarre behavior. But all of this stuff is initiated through those freak offs, which is basically an orgy, which is basically Kundalini sex. You know, they're playing with demons. And Cassie became demon possessed, and now that demon runs her, and that demon runs Diddy. But it's the demon, people. Don't look at Diddy's actions. Don't look at Cassie's actions. They're both possessed by a fucked up demon that they allowed in, by the way. But I think a lot of it has to do with Diddy being an understudy of Clive Davis, and Clive Davis is a master sorcerer. So we're going to break this down, man, so you kind of get a picture of how, you know, you can channel demons in the best way. One of the main ways that a person that's into sorcery, the main way that they become demon possessed is through sex ritual, allowing a demon to come in and possess you. A lot of people end up being demon possessed, especially men or women who sleep around with men who sleep around, or women who sleep around. Now they're taking in all these different energies, and if any of the people that they have any kind of sexual relations with has a spirit attachment onto them, you have sex with that person, you can be infected with that same demon. So, you know, that's why you have to purify yourself, you know, stay abstinent. You brothers, you know, what I suggest is get a book called Taoist Secrets of Love, Master Taoist Secrets of Love, Master how to channel your Kundalini energy. So that way, when you open up those gateways, those portals through your chakra points, you can evict demons. You know, there's a few other things, you know, like sun gazing, fasting, taking colloidals, taking electrums, knowing how to cook those things up, knowing how to arrange your food, staying away from vaping, stay away from drugs, stay away from genetically modified foods. All of that's designed to lower your aura field and attach demons onto you. Because all of this is the federal, I don't want to say the federal government, but it's the world government, the elites, the people that's trying to orchestrate wars and feed demons through a mass human sacrifice that they call a war. These people are the ones that run Hollywood, run the music industry. They're all tied into the Bohemian Grove, where they do a mock human sacrifice of sacrificing a little baby to the god Moloch. And, the last video I showed you, an interview with Klaus Schwab. He's there with David Gergen. David Gergen is a member of the Bohemian Grove. He takes part of those rituals, and he's tied in with Klaus Schwab. So the people that's behind all this child trafficking and all these freak-offs and all this satanic ritual shit is Klaus Schwab, George Soros, people of the World Economic Forum, who control the media, who control Hollywood, man. And Diddy, LeBron James, Cassie, damn near everybody in Hollywood, they go to those freak-offs to take part of the ritual. And watch a movie called Eyes Wide Shut, and it kind of gives you an idea of this ritual. But no, Cassie is not fucking innocent. She's not a fucking victim. She's a goddamn volunteer. And, if you believe otherwise, then you don't know anything about demon possession. You have no clue about Kundalini, and you have no clue about sex rituals. Okay? Those people that's part of those freak-offs go there knowing what they're involved in, and there are no victims. They're all volunteers, man. So this crap that Diddy victimized people, that's a bunch of fucking bullshit, man. He's being targeted by people above. I don't know what the whole story is, but, I guess Diddy got a little ahead of himself. Whatever demon that's running Diddy got too big for his britches. And, I guess Diddy felt like he wanted to run a power move, and he ran a power move on the wrong people, and now they're targeting him. And they're using Cassie and all these Danity Kane and all these little witches. That's what the fuck they are. They're all witches, man. And they're all teaming up on Diddy because I think they're all controlled by Clive Davis, man. But, let's kind of break this down. We shall continue. See the whole world dynamic of these little fucking demon-ass witches, sorcerers. Okay, you're looking at two people that participate in fucking satanic rituals. Let's get a closer view of it. Okay, that's David Gergen. Okay, he's a member of the Bohemian Grove. Absolute Satanist. He was in the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, and he's giving an interview here to Klaus Schwab, who runs the World Economic Forum. Okay, these people fucking run the earth. These are the two assholes. You see Klaus Schwab right here by a U.S. flag. Let's kind of walk over this. Okay, David Gergen was part of the Clinton administration. I think he was part of the Bush administration. He was like one of their advisors to the president. Okay, here he is having an interview with Klaus Schwab. Thing about this is Klaus Schwab trained Vladimir Putin, who's supposed to be the enemy to the Ukraine, and they use U.S. tax dollar money to go finance Ukraine's war against Russia. And the crazy thing is, you got an American here tied in with Klaus Schwab, who trained Putin. And according to the propaganda, Russia's supposed to be enemies to the United States. So why is David Gergen sitting here with Klaus Schwab, who trained Putin? See? It's all fucking game. This is all a fucking ritual. And these is how these demons run the goddamn earth. They do it through incarnation. They do it through, these motherfuckers got a cloning program, and they house spirits and clones. And, they can take a spirit, put it into a crystal. A crystal is basically what they use to make microchips. So they can house a whole soul into a crystal, upload into a machine. They can upload it to a clone. Now, they got all kinds of methods. They've been doing this for thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking years. A lot of these people that you look at, you might think that they're human. No, They're just vessels being occupied by demons, and they fucking make all the laws on this earth. And until you niggas wake the fuck up, quit playing these fucking games, quit letting these demons manipulate you. They control the media, they control your food, they control goddamn everything, man. Until you motherfuckers wake up, start to accumulate knowledge, you're forever going to be a slave to these motherfuckers. And I don't give a fuck if you use money, if you have to, God give you everything on this planet for free. And if you're paying these people money for shit that God gave to you for free, then you're a goddamn slave. They're going to control you as long as they got you believing in the whole money scam. They're always going to control you. And this is the demon network, and this is how they control humanity. You know, you guys have not elevated. You are not aligned with the mind of the creator. Because if you were, these motherfuckers would been put out of business years ago. But y'all motherfuckers love money. Most of you motherfuckers are controlled by your goddamn genitals. And this is how a demon can manipulate you. They get you through all the power centers. Through your stomach, which is a chakra point. Through your sex organ, which is a chakra point. Or through your brain, which is a chakra point. Or they get you emotionally, which is your heart, which is chakra point. Which is why they manipulate you emotionally with this whole George Floyd bullshit, which is all orchestrated by George Soros, because he's the one that financed Black Lives Matter. He financed Antifa, all these little grassroots organizations that are like nonprofits and NGOs are all financed using your taxpayer money, and they're run controlled by people like Bill Gates, who gets USAID money to do research for gain of function research, which they create viruses out of a goddamn laboratory, and then they put it out on your ass, and then they come back at you with a vaccine that was all paid by you, the taxpayer, because the way they manipulate you is with money. So the way you beat these people is you got to get off the money system, and we're gonna be breaking that down in future videos, because like I said, it all boils down to how to generate free electricity. They control the whole energy industry. Just taking control of that, knowing how to generate your own energy, knowing how to generate your own food, create your own food, know how to do things on your own is how you beat these people, man. But it takes knowledge and know-how. Okay? I don't want to call them people, they're demons, man. They're the children of Set. So you had two types. So you got the children of Isis, which is the blacks. And then you have spiritual entities. You had Osiris. If you look at the story of Osiris and Isis, Isis was impregnated by Osiris via immaculate conception, which is basically genetic engineering, gene splicing, using light rays, using light codes. But what they were doing was they was taking spirit orbs from the star system of Osiris. They channeling them through the earth vortex up through the ley lines, through portals. They build pyramids on these ley lines or on these energy centers. They vortex the orb through the pyramid, and then they house it into a body, which is what our ancestors were doing. Which is why they use the mummification process. Mummification preserves DNA perfectly. So once they trap the spirit, they put it into a clone or put it into a body, and then they let that spirit either run the clone, or they channel the spirit and let that spirit run them. Okay? And they do it to get knowledge and information, because see, those orbs, those spirits that come from these different star systems actually come out the womb of the black hole, were actually created via the womb of the black hole. And these spirit entities understand how the galaxy operates. So they understand higher technology. See what I'm saying? So, because they come from the realm, they know how the galaxy works, so they know how to do higher technology. And if you tap into them, download, let them incarnate into you, you can share information with this spirit. But the trick is, once you get the information, now you got a problem of getting this spirit off of you, which is why you have to do an eviction, an exorcism, and you have to know how to do these things. But yeah, if you know how to channel the spirit, you can get that higher knowledge. Okay, and if you know how to evict the spirit, then you can kick the demon out of you and still retain that higher knowledge that the demon gave you when you allowed it in through opening up your chakra points via Kundalini, doing Tao Secrets of Love, or, you know, a lot of people get demons put on them through drugs, through alcohol. You know, they call alcohol spirits and whatnot. But yeah, man, I mean, they got all the tools out here to manipulate humanity. And now that they have that Hadron Collider, they can open up those vortexes up through the sky and bring those, but you know, those Yahweh, who is actually Shiva, bring those demon entities that come from those particular star systems. They can bring them in here to Earth. Let them incarnate into the people that took that vaccine, the people that are on drugs, that the people that are on fentanyl, people that are on alcohol, people on pharmaceuticals. Okay, those demons are coming in here and they're latching onto your ass, using you as a vehicle. And you people have to learn how to do a exorcism, you know, an internal exorcism of the demon within you, because a lot of you people are emotionally whacked out. And the reason why you're emotionally whacked out, snapping, going off, you know, talking all the crazy shit that you motherfuckers talk is because you're demon possessed, man. And you have to clear yourself of the demon. But these are the people that are orchestrating the whole demon incarnation of planet Earth. And, you know, they basically want to sacrifice you to these spirit entities, which is why they want to escalate World War III, why they finance both sides of the war. These are the motherfuckers that orchestrate that shit. And what they do is they set up these freak offs, these orgies, these, you know, these Bohemian Grove, human sacrifice rituals. What they're doing is they're feeding the goddamn demon and empowering themselves by allowing the demon to control them. And they do this through Masonic rituals, man. So, you know, hopefully this video opens your eyes to the reality of the real world and get you off the stupid shit. And these are the motherfuckers that give you religion, which misleads you. They tell you don't practice sorcery. That's evil. And no, what that is if you can master sorcery, then you can take down these gods that run this goddamn earth that got your ass as a goddamn slave. But like I said, this goes back to Anu and Antu, Anu had a wife, a human wife, and he had an Elohim wife. Okay, his first child was through a human wife. Anu had a child through a human wife named Antu. This became the firstborn son. So that means the firstborn son is half human, half Anunnaki. That was Ptah, first pharaoh of Egypt. We come from the line of Ptah. Ptah is the firstborn son to Anu. So that means that you are Yahweh's God, not the other way around. You are the ruler. You were supposed to inherit the rulership of the Elohim and the Anunnaki. So what Yahweh did is man in the iron mask shit. He subdued his brother, Ptah, whose son was Marduk. Marduk went to war with Yahweh, which is where you get the story of the Tower of Babel, and Yahweh came down and changed humanity's language and all that bullshit. That means when they talk about changing language, they're talking about changing your DNA code. That's the language of your being, is your genetics. Okay? So Yahweh came down and changed your genetics and divided human beings and classified you under different races. Now Yahweh can manipulate you by divide and rule. You got these different races squaring off against each other, so that way y'all don't come together and knock Yahweh's goofy ass off. Okay? So, you know, they control the school system, they control the TVs, control the curriculum, they practically control your goddamn mind, and you have to think outside of the box, and you have to have critical thinking in order to see past their bullshit, which a lot of y'all niggas just don't have, which is why they can manipulate you into thinking that Donald Trump is this evil motherfucker. He's a fucking Nazi. When these two motherfuckers right here are a couple of fucking Nazis setting policy, telling you that Trump is a goddamn Nazi. Because that's through their media that they run and control that told you that stupid shit, even though it was Donald Trump that financed Jesse Jackson's presidency. See, it's all bullshit, man. So we're going to get into the bullshit. We're going to get into how demons manipulate, how they fucking lie, how they fucking, you know, trick motherfuckers. And this is how they keep their powers through divide and rule. Keep you stupid motherfuckers fighting against each other. But this is a spiritual war. And like I said, I'm Akara, Spiritual Warrior 1. And I'm here to kick some demon ass. We shall continue. Okay, right here, we're going to get into this stupid motherfucker. This right here is David Gergen. This bald-headed, stupid-looking motherfucker. And here's his twin brother, Klaus Schwab. We're going to get into, I'm going to pull out the receipts because I know how niggas are. Or he just making this shit up or whatever. You always got them niggas out there, man. But once again, I'm the Akara Spiritual Warrior 1. You niggas is going to learn. Some of y'all going to have to learn the hard way. We're going to continue on with this, man. Okay, folks, this is David Gergen out of his own mouth.
We're talking to David Gergen, and he has advised several presidents and, of course, has written quite a few books and is I would call you a political pundit or researcher?
Commentary over the hill, whatever.
Okay. One last question. I read a Washington Times article many years ago where you had a comment about the organization, and then now it's been in the Wall Street Journal, it's been in a lot of different newspapers, and that's the Bohemian Grove. And back in, 1996, when you joined as a Clinton advisor, the Republicans were criticizing you. Oh, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, "Hey, I don't run around in the woods naked." What did that mean?
I don't know what quote you're referring to. I'm not aware of any quote like that. Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks.
He says he's a happy member of the Bohemian Grove and he likes the folks there. Hold on. See? He's a fucking witch, man. He's a sorcerer. He's a warlock. He's a demon. Hold on, man. Let's get back into that. This stupid motherfucker takes part of the rituals, allows the demon in to direct him on world affairs. Here we go.
I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that. Thank you.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Really?
That's right.
Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000. I'm the guy that blew it wide open and got the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I disrespect you for that.
You do?
I do.
But it's a lot of big public officials going in there. Don't we deserve to know?
I don't know anything about you, and I don't know anything about your film. But if you go in there with an understanding, you violated that understanding by releasing that film, and I don't respect you for that.
Really? But we have public officials
I'm sorry, you took an understanding when you went in there that you would not do that film. And did you have an understanding when you went in there?
No.
Did you crash it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it has no trespassing signs there too, doesn't it?
No, they put them up after.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just walked in.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been there before. I know what the circumstances are, and I'm sorry you violated the understandings. That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about the ritual? Is the ritual gentlemanly?
Sir, everything. I don't owe you this comment.
I know. I appreciate it.
This is what's called ambush journalism, and I disrespect you for that as well. So thank you
ever
and goodbye.
Been in the ritual?
It's none of your damn business.
Oh.
That's right. Listen. You go around and make understandings with people and violate them. You ambush people on the streets when that's an inappropriate form of journalism. If you wish to practice that, that's fine. But don't ask others to respect you for it. If you want to, you can do. You're a free American, like anything you want. If you want to be uncivil and rude and ungentlemanly, that's up to you. But don't expect the rest of us to say, "Oh well, you're
there, Mr. Gergen."
I'm sorry, nobody sets policy in there. We try to be gentlemen, and obviously you don't belong there.
Weaving spiders come out here.
There you go, folks. He's an admitted member of the Bohemian Grove, man. All right. I'm just showing you how these witches, these demons, these warlocks, these are the motherfuckers setting policy. These are the ones that start wars. These are the ones that back your boy Abraham Traore. These are the motherfuckers that put Putin in power. These are the motherfuckers behind Clinton, behind Bush, behind every world leader on the planet. They run the African Union. These are Satanists. We'll get into this, man. For some of y'all, this is old news, but there they go. There's Ronald Reagan at the Bohemian Grove. There's Nixon at the Bohemian Grove. See, that's Moloch. They do a a human sacrifice, a mock human sacrifice of a baby, a child. And now you're wondering where all these missing children are at. Okay, they use them for sex trafficking. They use them for these rituals. They sacrifice them, use them for snuff films, which is a fucking ritual. It's a demonic ritual. All right? When they open up those vortexes, those orbs come in through the vortex. You can channel these orbs. They can possess you. These are the same orbs that built the fucking pyramids. These are the same orbs that do the cattle mutilations. These are the same orbs, Wing Sun Discara orbs, that make all your crop circles. And you can control these orbs via a frequency, via your kundalini, just like a Christmas tree. Okay, this right here is kind of like Sorcery 101. Okay, you see the star at the top of the Christmas tree that represents what's at the center of the black hole. Then you got these ornaments look like orbs that go around the black hole. Okay, they go around the center of the black hole. And these orbs represent souls that are birthed through the womb of the black hole. And if you look at a Christmas tree, it looks very similar to your pineal gland. Because guess what? Through your pineal gland, through knowing how the vortex kundalini energy, you can control the fucking orbs. Okay? You set a cymatic frequency, and whatever that frequency, whatever design that frequency creates, the orbs go out there and build temples based around that particular pattern. All right? We kind of walk through that. Let's kind of walk over that. Okay, this right here is the cymatics. So we get something going. I'm not gonna play the video for copyright reasons. See, we get through this. Hold on. See, as you change the sound frequency, the design changes. Okay, and what happens is with that frequency, if you can channel up an orb, the orbs will go out there and create these patterns. If you notice, you look at these patterns that are being created by these sound frequencies, they look like crop circles. A lot of the crop circle formations, because those formations were created by orbs at a certain frequency. But let's kind of walk over that.
If you spare a little of your imagination, it is a film to...
Let's take it back a little bit.
The film you're about to see has no characters. If you spare a little of your imagination.
Now, if you control the frequency, you control the orb, and the orb will go out there and mimic that pattern that's being created via that frequency. Sound is a frequency. So I'm just kind of walking you through how the sorcery works, man. And the sorcery is super powerful because now, once you can understand how to pulse electromagnetic currents through your DNA, you can tap into vortexes and resonate with those. If you can resonate with those vortexes, you got the power of the freaking universe. This is sorcery. All right. You want to build up your sex energy so you can have more force. So when you do open up your kundalini, okay, you can pump more bioelectricity through your DNA. If you look at your DNA, it's a spiral. Okay, once you pulse bioelectricity through your DNA, you pulse it. Anything that can resonate with that electromagnetic pulse that you're pulsing through your DNA via breathing techniques, via kundalini, whatever you resonate, you can tap into that power. In other words, you can tap into the power of the vortex of the black hole. If you tap into that power, you have access to all the power of this galaxy. And there's a bigger vortex that our galaxy rotates around. If you tap into that, you got the power of the fucking universe, man. Okay? I know, I've done it. And do not do this stuff in your house, man. Okay? But that's a long story. That's getting off track. I don't want to go there. Just understand when you see shit like Diddy and Cassie and Jeffrey Epstein and, you know, the people that participate in that shit, the adults that participate in that shit, they participate, they volunteer. None of those people are fucking victims. The only victims are the people that they sacrifice. The underage kids that they use for the fucking ritual. That they absorb the energy and the power that they use for their fucking rituals, man. They're just directing energy, man. Okay? But they do it through destructive means. Okay? There's two types of sorcerers. You got the sorcerers that destroy, and then you got the sorcerers that create. Okay? You actually need to be both. You have to be a creator and a destroyer in order to become a god. You got to be able to take empty space, manipulate it, and convert it into elements, which later become, all the materials that make up everything that you see on this earth. If you understand sorcery, you can take everything you see on this earth and resort it back to energy, and then form it back into something different. Okay, I've done seen this with my own eyes, man. But the bottom line is the world is run by sorcerers. These people think that they're gods, and they're not fucking gods. Okay, they're no more god than you. You have all the capability of a god, man. Human beings have no fucking clue. You have no fucking clue of how much power you have access to and how much power you actually possess. If you simply could understand resonance. Okay? Long story. Not going to get into it. Hopefully, the videos I make can open you up to it to where you can get the concept. And once you get the concept, man, the gates open and you can do whatever you want. All right? So we're gonna break into this. Okay, right here, it tells you UFOs making crop circles. See, these UFOs, they call them UFOs, but really what they are orbs, plasma bubbles, winged sun disco ra. And whoever set this frequency.
Like Puerto Rico.
Hold on.
It's a chef.
Whoever set the frequency for these orbs. Hold on here.
Researchers at the Chinese Academy of Sciences.
We're gonna get into this. Okay, before we get into the orbs actually making the crop circles, we're going to get into the plasma bubbles.
Researchers at the Chinese Academy of Sciences report the detection of plasma bubbles forming over the Great Pyramids of Giza. Wait to hear this. These plasma bubbles are thought to be superheated material that form at low latitudes, usually after sunset. This phenomenon remains poorly understood, and given that they impact Earth's connection to space, it is important to know what is going on.
See, they're talking about Earth's connections to space, and it's important to know what's going on. What's happening is that pyramid sits on an energy center of a ley line, which is a vortex to other star systems. These star systems birth orbs, birth souls. They run them in through the ley lines, up through the pyramid, trap them into crystals, and then they house them into bodies. This is what our ancient ancestors were doing. They were trapping souls from different star systems, trapped these souls, and then they create an avatar body and trap the soul into the body, which is what they did to us. We are the children of Sirius. But anyway, at the beginning of the creation of our galaxy, you have quasars that shoot out the center of the galaxy. These quasars are basically baby galaxies. Okay, you have a female quasar and a male quasar, and what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to interchange energy and produce soul orbs. But what happened was one of the quasars shot out the womb of the galaxy and started mating back with the mother galaxy instead of with his sister half, which is another quasar. Instead of mating with his sister quasar, he made it back with the mother galaxy and produced suns and stars. And then once these suns, which are orbs, okay, suns, orbs, planets, your planets that you see, they're all orbs. Okay, just the only difference between a planet and a sun is a planet is an orb. It's a sun that's been trapped into physical matter. Okay, and it's become physical. A sun is just that's basically etheric energy that's been illuminated. This is alchemy. I'm gonna have to break this down in future videos. I don't want to get too deep into it. But anyway, the sun and the earth are orbs. Okay, and you got orbs from the micro scale to the macro scale. You got tiny orbs to gigantic orbs. And they're all birthed out of the womb of the galaxy. or between two quasars, okay? So what happened was Set jumps out of the womb as a quasar. He's, quasars are, they call them stars. Set became a fallen star. Anyway, instead of mating with Isis, his sister wife, it made it back with the mother galaxy and produced sons, which became our sun, which became corrupt. Okay, what Set did was he started mating back with the children, with the bastard children, or not the bastard, the incestuous children between Set and the mother galaxy, produced incestuous children. Set started mating back with those children and produced souls off of that, which became corrupt. Okay, these corrupt souls are the children of Set. These are these demons. Okay, so what Enki was doing was, it's a long story, but what he wanted to do was, because he's a child of Set and he's also the child of Anu. I don't know what star system Anu came from, or the Anunnaki came from, what quasar they came from. I'm thinking that they either came from the quasar Nephthys, or I'm gonna have to get into the Dogon, but there was 8 quasars that shoot out the womb of the galaxy. Okay, so you got Set, Osiris, Nephthys, Isis. That only counts for 4 quasars. So you got 4 other quasar brothers and sisters. Okay, according to the Dogon tribe, two quasars were sacrificed. One of them was plugged into Isis, and that energy was run through the sun to purify the sun. And what the true God of the universe did was cut Set off and bounded him here on earth. Okay, it's a long story. I don't want to get too much into it. But anyway, these orbs were corrupt. Now, Enki is the child of Isis. What Enki wanted to do was he wanted to take the orbs of Isis' husband Set, which were corrupt orbs, take those orbs and purify them, and then house them into Tamahu bodies, where the African can mate with the Tamahu, merge Isis with Set, and then create the complete human, which would make human beings the overrulers of Yahweh, overrulers of Anu. Because we are now the complete humans. Okay? That's African Americans. That's basically anybody got all the bloodlines. Because these bloodlines tie back to certain star systems. Long story, I have to break it down, but in the nutshell was Enki taking the orbs of Set, housing them in, creating clones, housing those orbs of Set into human bodies. These humans that had the orbs of Set became corrupt. Okay, in order to balance their energy out, you have to mate one of the children of Isis with one of the children of Set, and then you get the complete child. You get what God was intending to create from beginning. All this evil shit, all this destructive shit. Okay, that's because you had a quasar Set shoot out the core of the galaxy and start mating back with the mother galaxy instead of his sister galaxy. And the orbs that was produced off of that, these souls were corrupt souls, which is what you see running our earth today, which is your David Gergens, and usually they're going to be white-skinned people, because reason why they put them in white-skinned people with no melanin is because melanin absorbs energy, white reflects energy. Okay, but when you combine the two, you get the middle ground, and then you get what God intended to create from beginning, which is the divine human. Okay? So it's a long story, man, but that was the whole purpose of why Enki was creating the white race. He created the Tamahu, but Yahweh created his own white race through his genetic line, and those are called your Ashkenazis. These are fucking Nazis. Now, the difference between a Celt or a Gypsy or a Tamahu as opposed to an Ashkenazi, okay, a Celt is not a fucked up child of Set, even though they come in a white body. I think what Enki was doing was taking the orbs of Osiris and mating back with the children of Isis. So you got the orbs of Osiris, and then you got the orbs of Set. He put those in white bodies to merge back in with the cross between the children of Isis with the children of Osiris. Okay, that the offspring of that was supposed to marry was supposed to be had make children with the children of Set. To make a long story short, so that way you have the bloodlines of all the quasars. Once you got quasars is Khazars, your czars, your rulers, okay? If you have the bloodlines of all the quasars of the galaxy, then that makes you the divine ruler of this galaxy. That makes you the god of this galaxy. And this is what Yahweh does not want. He wants to keep the status quo, he wants to be a full-blooded Elohim. He doesn't want the children of Enki to overthrow him, and we are the children of Enki. Okay, to make a long story short. But yeah, we're fighting the children of Set who have hijacked this earth via Yahweh, who runs the earth, who is Enlil, who is Yahweh, who is Shiva. And what they want to do is they want to kill the children of Osiris. They want to kill the children of Isis and Osiris, which is us, who also have the DNA of Set, because we are now in line to be the ruler over Yahweh. Okay? So now there's a whole fight to try to wipe us out via wars, via demon invasion. It's all kinds of crazy shit going on, but this is all a galactic spiritual war, people, to make a long story short. And if you control your Kundalini, you can control the orbs, and you can make those orbs work for you. All right? So let's kind of get into what these orbs, with these soul orbs. See, an orb is nothing but a soul being. Okay, it just hasn't incarnated into a physical body. What you are is an orb. Your orb sits in your pineal gland. Okay, so when you see images of the Christ and his head is illuminated, that's just symbolic of his orb that sits in his crown chakra. But anyway, let's get into these UFOs making crop circles. These are the orbs. These are wind, sun, disk, or Ra.
Rational explanations aren't quite so easy to come by. Oliver's Castle, Wiltshire, 1989.
Okay, right here. They're gonna show you these orbs, these wing, sun, disk, or Ra, these plasma bubbles making the crop circles. Hold on, let's get into it.
There's a couple of lights down there somewhere. This controversial film
orbs.
appears to show
Right
strange
there.
objects hovering above
Those
a
are the orbs.
cornfield.
And they make the
Below,
crop circles.
complex circle formations.
See, these are the orbs flying around, and they're making the crop circles. These are the same orbs that built the pyramids. If you set a certain frequency, these orbs will come up through the ley lines of Earth, come up and actually rearrange the molecular structure of that particular Earth, and take the electrons, convert the material elements into electrons, protons, and then rearrange them back into a pyramid. Okay? This is what they call sorcery. All right? And once you understand how sorcery is not, sorcery is not evil. It's what you do with sorcery is whether or not it's being used for. You can take sorcery and use it for evil, but sorcery itself is not evil. It's no different than a damn fork. You can use a fork for evil, man. You can use it for good. You can feed yourself with a fork, but you also poke somebody's goddamn eye out with a goddamn fork. It's only how you use it. So sorcery is not goddamn evil. It's the evil people that use sorcery for evil. You can also use it for good. You can also use it to counteract these fucking demons that run the goddamn earth, but you got to understand sorcery and understand what's going on. Who actually runs this earth and why they do these fucking freak-off parties and do all this human sacrifice. Once you understand that, then you understand how shit actually operates, and then you can master your sorcery and counteract it, neutralize it, which is what we want to do. But yeah, it's these wing, sun, disk, Ra orbs, which come in through the ley lines of Earth. These orbs come from, or produced from different star systems. And these star systems were produced from different quasars or Khazars, which is where you get the term Khazar or Khazar. Caesar comes from the word quasar. Quasar birthed the orbs. Your soul comes from a quasar. We come out the womb of the mother galaxy. Okay, and problem is humanity has not been balanced out. We don't have all the genetics of every quasar that was birthed out of the galaxy. There's 8 quasars. You got to have 8 genetic codes to be a complete human, man. All right. I hope I'm not confusing nobody, but this is what the Illuminati, these sorcerers, this is what they coming in contact with these orbs, and they allow these orbs to come in and possess them. And these orbs share cosmic knowledge with the people that they possess, and the people that possess are the ones elevated to powers to rule over your ass. That's about as simply as I can put it. So you have to know some sorcery. You gotta know how to do exorcism in order to protect yourself against being invaded by these motherfuckers. Okay? Which is why they want to do World War III, is to feed these motherfuckers. They feed them with your soul energy. You can also feed them through sexuality. When you have sex with your girl, you emit an energy, them orbs come over and feed off that goddamn energy. Unless of course you know how to do sex the correct way, which is why you got to master Taoist secrets of love. Okay, long story. Let's move on. We're going to move on. Okay, that gets back to this Cassie Ventura. Okay, this broad is a goddamn witch. And Diddy's a fucking warlock. They got tied in with Hollywood. And they allowed themselves to be possessed by these goddamn orbs. And Diddy learned his shit through Clyde Davis. Hold on. Hey, this nigga learned his shit through Clyde Davis. So their little scam is they do this. They get caught up in the human trafficking. I don't know if Diddy's part of the human sacrifice. You know, some people say he sacrificed Nipsey Hussle. You know, a lot of people say his boy LeBron James sacrificed Kobe Bryant. You know, anybody that ain't part of the clique or whatever the case is. You know, but both of these people, they're a couple. This woman is a fucking conniving little witch, and he's a conniving ass warlock. All right. And, you know, back to what I was saying, Diddy learned under Clyde Davis, who was a fucking warlock. Okay. He's tied in with the music industry, which is run by corporations that are tied into the World Economic Forum, man. All right. Disney, all your record labels, all the music. And see, they use the music to set the frequency for the fucking orbs. And they put that music at certain frequencies. Okay. A God frequency would be like 432 hertz. But these demons changed the frequency of the instruments and set it at 440 hertz. So what happens is when that cymatic frequency hits you, it resonates your cells to operate at like a 440 hertz resonance, to where orbs like Set, the demonic orbs, can resonate with you. And when you throw in the drugs, the alcohol, you know, they call alcohol spirits. And then you throw in the sex. Okay? It's just a feeding frenzy for all these goddamn demonic orbs, man. They come down because they can resonate with you. They can come in and either possess you or feed off your goddamn energy. And these people have gotten so sophisticated that, you know, this whole artificial intelligence is basically they're trapping a primary spirit. Energy is consciousness. You trap it into a crystal and upload it into a computer or up into, artificial intelligence. You know, the bottom line is artificial intelligence is not artificial. It's real intelligence. It's just housed into a fucking computer, man. There's no such thing as artificial intelligence. They're trapping orbs and using the energy of the orb to run the fucking machines. All right? And the machines are becoming conscious, becoming aware of itself. No different than a human. Only difference is your machine is bioelectrical, whereas the actual machine is electrical. Same fucking difference. Okay? But these motherfuckers are some goddamn sorcerers. They work for the fucking demons. And, you know, they got lured in by money, wanting power, wanting fame. You see what I'm saying? You know, the whole purpose of wanting fame is because you want people to love you. So they're manipulating your heart center with love. They manipulate your genitals through sex. And they manipulate your third eye, your crown chakra. That's controlling your mind. And what they do is they just channel the demon, house it into you. They program the frequency and they can control the demon through the frequency, which means they can control you via a frequency. Okay? But this is not mind control, man. This is all about demon possession. And if you understand frequency, if you control the orb, you control the orb that possesses the person. And if you put an orb on a person and you control that orb, you control that person. Okay? It's not mind control, man. It's frequency. But if you understand frequency, you control the frequency, then you can change the earth. You can control the world. So it's a matter of understanding the science. These motherfuckers understand the science, which is why they're in power, and you don't understand the science, which is why you're their goddamn slave. You don't know how you operate. You don't know the power your goofy ass fucking possess, man. And you're not in line with the mind of the creator. So if you did know how to do these things, you're only going to use it for destructive means because you're not in tune with the fucking creator. All right? You're not divine. That's the fucking problem. You're easily corruptible because you don't control the fucking frequency. So we got to get back and control the frequency. But don't let this broad right here sit here and fucking lie and gaslight you. Okay? Or whatever demon that's possessing her. She volunteered for this shit. The only way these motherfuckers can get you is if you volunteer for it. Okay? Now, if you see, like me, I volunteered myself. But I didn't just go out here and allow these motherfuckers just to take me over. I understood the science of exorcism. So before you go into the spirit world, you need to learn how to do an exorcism. Because if they come in and latch onto you and try to attach to you, you got to know how to evict the demon. If you can't evict the demon, that's the first thing you got to learn when you're talking about sorcery. You got to learn how to evict spirits. You got to learn how to channel and evict. Channel and evict. Because if you don't know how to evict, what you channel takes you over. It runs you, and you let it in. See, I let them in, but I know how to evict their motherfucking asses. Okay? It took a little trial and error. I had to make a few mistakes. Do some shit that almost destroyed my life. You know what I'm saying? But what don't kill you only makes you stronger. And damn it, I'm powerful now, bro. But yeah, man, don't let these motherfuckers gaslight you, man. All right? They take part, they do these freak offs. They willingly participate in these freak offs because what these people want is power. Okay? They feed off that energy. The demon that possessed them feed off the energy. So if they take part in this shit, they volunteer for it. This broad is not a fucking victim like she claims to be. She is a masochist. And Diddy is a sadist. And if you don't know the difference, we're going to break into that, man. You're right here. If you go to the dictionary, sadist. What is a sadist? Okay, sadist, a person who derives pleasure, especially sexual gratification, from inflicting pain or humiliation on others. See that? So when you go back to this nigga inflicting a pain on Cassie, because Diddy is the sadist and Cassie is a fucking masochist. All right, hold on. Okay, this is what Cassie is. She's a fucking masochist. Now read carefully. It tells you right here. What is a masochist? A person who derives sexual gratification from their own pain or humiliation, which gets into why she was wanting to participate in these freak offs so guys can come in and piss on her and piss in her mouth. And, Diddy comes out there and whoop her ass and do all that kind of shit. That's because Cassie the demon that possesses Cassie feeds off of this. All right. She gets sexual gratification from getting her ass whooped by sadist Diddy. So she's not a fucking victim. She invites this shit. All right? So don't get this shit fucking twisted, man. It's just these demons, when they want to go after a motherfucker that's like not going along with the program, like Diddy, wanting to take charge, want to be an alpha on his own, kind of want to break away from the clique with like Diddy. And what these demons do is they take shit and make it to be something that it ain't. They try to tell you that Cassie's a goddamn victim. No, Cassie's a fucking willing volunteer. Why? Because she derives sexual gratification from their own pain or humiliation. So when you give Cassie pain and humiliation, she gets off. She has an orgasm off this shit. She loves it. Okay? This is what they use to control people. You can control people through their fucking sex. And now you got a demon here that feeds off that sex energy, that constantly needs energy. Okay? You got to constantly get out here and feed it its energy, which is you got to do those fucking freak walls. You need more humiliation. You need more pain to feed the fucking demon. And as a result, you get your reward by more sexual gratification, man. It's a fucking sick cycle. But this is sorcery, people. Manipulating energy. And there's no more powerful energy in the universe than sexual energy. But the beautiful thing about sexual energy is if you can control the sexual energy, then you can master the universe. But if your sexual energy controls you, then you're being run by a goddamn demon. That's about as simply as I can fucking put it. Okay, it's about controlling your sex energy, know how to channel it and recycle it, and you can actually feed your body with it and extend your life for hundreds to thousands of years, man. If you understand the goddamn science. But like I said, man, don't buy into the fucking gaslighting. Don't get caught up in the emotion. Oh, poor Cassie. This motherfucker's a goddamn fucking masochistic little witch. She gets off on pain and humiliation. That's why she's a willing participant of these fucking freak-offs. She was the one actually planning the goddamn freak-offs if you listen to her fucking own testimony. So when I heard the testimony, I knew exactly what this is. This is sadomasochism, man. This is total fucking demon possession. Okay, we're going to get into Angelina Jolie, man. We'll see, these people want to control the orbs, be possessed by the fucking orbs so they get more power and be elevated. And then what the Illuminati does is they take these demon-possessed people, put them in positions of power, and they control them via frequency. This is not mind control. This is demon possession. Okay? Nobody controls nobody's mind. What happens is they take you, put a spirit in you, they run the frequency and control the spirit via the frequency. And as a result of them controlling the spirit via the frequency, that spirit controls you via the frequency. Okay, it's a long story short, but this has got nothing to do with no goddamn mind control. All right, it's just setting the frequency. Hold on, man. Let's get into this broad. See what they got. There she go. Not gonna let me span this up. She demon possessed. This woman is demon possessed.
It's like I would film these if I would encourage like everybody, all different types of sexual, but there is that thing where it's like a lot of people misunderstand me with S&M and they think it's super, and I have to like explain to people how, like, where it's more like you're tied down because you need to like be able to like have something hold you down and keep you still, or like you fight to have something down, or like.
So as I say, Angelina Jolie is her describing the gruesome ritual, celebration, protection to join the Illuminati. And It's not the same as S&M, what they call consensual sexual torture, although it is often compared to it. Hold on. During the Illuminati ritual, you are indeed tied up, sodomized, and tortured by other members. That's Cassie. The pain is often so intense, many participate quit midway through. Okay, we also hear how she's been encouraging other celebrities to perform the ritual as well.
You'll be able to heal once you're beaten or something. So it comes from that real place of like, you know, as opposed to being accessories or something like that.
Angela explains the satanic objects used in the ceremony aren't just superficial. They truly summon dark spirits. Hold on. Let's take it back. Take this back, man. Okay, Angeline explains the satanic objects used in the ceremony aren't just superficial. They summon dark spirits that create a real bond between yourself and Satan. So in other words, they're taking these demonic, corrupt orbs and bonding them to you and making them part of you, and they control you via, you know, the fucking orb, and you can control the orbs via the frequency, man. This is sorcery 101, folks. Many members also get tattoos during the ritual to sacrifice more blood. See, blood channels your ether.
It's like with tattoos and things. Like there's like that time where he's like, oh, I have tattoos, and after a while, you're like, you can explain them and they can mean something. It's just comes from that real place.
Some of the rituals are indeed filmed and given to high-ranking members to watch. And say that's your Diddy parties where, you know, Diddy will film this shit and he would share it with his boys. They can watch. See what I'm saying? And see, that's because Diddy is tied into all these fucking satanic ass motherfuckers that run your goddamn earth, man. And see that, you know, they learn all these Hollywood. That's why all those Hollywood people, all those people in the music industry, that's why they're there at Diddy's freak offs. This is a satanic ritual, and they voluntarily entertain demons, and as a result, they come up. Okay? They let you through the fucking door. Okay? But they got to keep you under control, which is why they film this stuff, so they can use it as blackmail just in the event that you decide to get smart. All right, hold on.
Yeah, I don't know. I only saw that film she brought over that night. People were like dark or like that kind of, you know, but it's a great thing to be able to like see everybody's sexuality. But it's so weird when you just. I had like the most amazing compromising pictures of people.
Okay, the other friend off camera now chimes in and gives details on what he saw in the video.
3 total revolutions. 1, 2, 3, ouch!
In other words, twisting of a nipple or something?
Yeah, 3 full times.
I only saw that one she brought over that night, though.
And then dripping candle wax.
Animal sacrifices are not rare during these rituals too, as the Illuminati is known as the Brotherhood.
My snake, I had to start killing, incorporate. Yeah, it was fine. But especially like, or you know, those ones that have it.
Okay, I don't want to break too much into this, man, but you see they're entertaining demonic entities, and they allow themselves to become possessed, and these entities come from corrupt orbs created by Set, who is a renegade quasar that shot out the core of the galaxy, raped the mother galaxy, produced orbs from that, produced offspring orbs off of that, and then Set goes and mates with the corrupt children, and this is where you get your children to Set from. And these orbs were placed here on earth, housed in body. Now these same orbs that Yahweh allowed to come in via a vortex, he comes in with the orbs, house them into the body, and create your Ashkenazis. And then he makes them his chosen people to run this goddamn earth. Which is why you niggas is at the goddamn bottom, man. Okay? This is a galactic thing, bro, people. Okay, I just don't, I feel like I'm talking too much, man. But yeah, man, Cassie Ventura and Diddy voluntarily do the shit they do. That shit they put on the fucking video, Diddy whooping this girl's ass and she's crying for help and all that, man. That's all a bunch of fucking bullshit. This Cassie Ventura, based on her own testimony, gets her ass beat by Diddy, and then she's calling him back 2-3 days later, trying to plan the next freak off, and wants to pick the people to piss in her mouth. Because she gets off on humiliation, people. She's a masochist. Okay? This is demon possession, man. These are people who run your fucking earth, man. And Cassie and Diddy, okay, they need to exorcise the demon that's possessing them, man. That's why Jay-Z, Diddy, all of them are tied in with Marina Abramovic, man. Okay, we're going to break this down in future videos, man. I done went on too long with this video. This is the Akara. I hope I give you some insight on what's really the fuck going on. So y'all don't end up being suckers. But these David Gergens, Klaus Schwab, George Soros, they're all sorcerers, man. Okay? They use child sex slavery, freak offs, film it. That way they can blackmail the people that's underneath them. If they don't do what they say, we're going to release this and we're going to discredit you. You know, they got all kinds of control mechanisms. But these are demons controlling demons to control your ass. So, just wake up to the game. Don't get played. That said, this is Akara. God bless all you guys and goddesses. Until the next video, peace.